Hamilton.
It's all happening, happening.
Patty and Emily, thoughts and comedy from Broadway superfans. From Broadway superfans.
Finally happened.
Yes.
We finally saw
3
it.
years after we begged for it instead of I'm pretty sure that's why. Ugh, I loved it.
It was great. It was really good.
Yeah. It was everything I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
That preview concert was the show, essentially. I mean, they filled it out.
Sure.
There's so much of it that sounds so much like Lin-Manuel. There was so much more different types of songs that touched on, like, King George's, which we had heard,
right.
is a bit more of a classical, hilarious musical theater sounding song. And then there was, like, R&B number, like the ladies' numbers, both of them. Like a folksy sort of song that the guys sing to their new babies. Everything that we've seen Lin-Manuel do has been, I don't want to say samey, but in the same genre.
It's just, it's like Jason Robert Brown, where he has a quality and a tone and like a way about writing that when you hear it, you're like, I know this is Lin.
Yeah.
I know that this is Lin-Manuel writing.
Yeah.
Like when you hear Jason Robert Brown, you know it's Jason Robert Brown.
Yeah, and it's still there, but he was able to expand that sound.
Mm-hmm.
The lyrics, I think, especially, are where you will always be like, this is a Lin-Manuel Miranda lyric.
Yes.
And then musically, he was able to expand. We saw it early in preview, so a lot of it's probably going to get tightened up and cut. And even if it doesn't make it in the show, I would love a recording of all of those things I heard.
Yeah, I definitely was like a cast recording now, like immediately, because I want to listen to all of those songs.
Well, also, throughout the show, I'm sure I missed a bunch of them, but I was like picking out all of his references to other musical theater songs or writers, pop music or hip hop, and some other like cultural references. There was a you've got to be carefully taught.
Oh, I do. I remember that lyric.
Yeah.
I remember being like,
Yeah, there was a Lauryn Hill reference.
Oh yeah.
You might win some, but you just lost one.
Yeah, that's true. I do remember that lyric too.
Don't this hit make people want to jump, jump? And it was like, don't this shit make my people want to rise up?
Yeah.
I was like, ah! Ugh, I fucking love that shit, and that's the other reason why I want the recording, because there obviously are so many that I must have missed.
Absolutely. There's many lyrics in that show. Can't have them all memorized yet.
No.
But cast recording now, please.
Oh, yes.
I liked it a lot.
Mm-hmm. Again, like many shows based on historical people, I went home and I was like, Wikipedia, Eliza Hamilton, Wikipedia, her sister, Angelica Schuyler, Renée Elise Goldsberry, her character.
This show made me want someone to write a musical version of Belle. For Renée Elise Goldsberry.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Like, she's fucking incredible.
She's so great.
She's so good.
And like, there's so many other interesting characters. Primarily the women, because there's also just less known about them. There's less available. Which sucks, because Eliza Hamilton opened the first private orphanage in New York City, which we do know about.
I would like to know about that.
If she can do something like that, what else did she do?
Right. Yeah, I feel like at the end of the show, it was like, she was like, I'm going to tell your story. And I was like, who tells your story?
Maybe it's you, Emily.
Yeah, I was like, I want to see a musical about those sisters.
Yeah, absolutely.
So keep writing more shows for us, Lynn.
Yes.
Write Belle the musical.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's talk about the cast. The first one, the Public Theater.
Who's who in the company? The Public Theater's
it says
not
who's
in the
who
company.
in the company, and the first bio is the Public Theater. Renée Elise Goldsberry,
so great.
Is perfect
in
everything she's ever done. I just need, somebody write something, preferably Belle, but like somebody write something for Renée so that she can star in a new Broadway musical every year, because she's fucking perfect.
She's great.
Her voice is super good. She's a fucking great actress.
Yeah. She was so good. And it's kind of a hard role to play, because first of all, God, just life for women. It sucked. It's still hard. There's still problems, obviously. She comes from a rich family, but she's a woman, so she still has to marry rich because her fortune is not necessarily her fortune. She needs a man to also be in control of it. A lot of historical research went into this and the book, so I'm assuming it's for the most part historically accurate. She had an interest in Alexander Hamilton, but was like, he's poor, I can't do it. My sister
she took one
is
for the
totally
team.
into him.
Yeah, she took one for
My
the team.
sister's totally into him. I'll set him up with her. They get married, and then she and Alexander have like a correspondence, and who knows how much he was into it, but like they couldn't be together. It's just so fucking complicated.
Yeah.
To play that role in the way she played it and the way that it was written, you want to be sympathetic to her and also not, like, you could easily make it seem like she was still scamming on her sister's man. I think you could write it that way.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, and she didn't play it that way. It was still very, like, sympathetic.
Right.
And, guys.
Life for women.
Just bums me out.
I don't know about God, but I believe in Chris Jackson.
Oh, George Washington.
He was fucking great. I mean, always. We love Chris Jackson.
He was really good. He was really, really good.
Yeah.
I have complicated feelings about the whole founding father and founding of this nation thing because I think it was founded on kind of bullshit principles.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree.
I don't want to pay our taxes for this war that protected us. No taxation without representation, I'm 100% behind. Whatever, we live in America. I can't do anything about it now. But I also, like, fucking love 1776. And I love this, and I'm, like, fascinated by it, but that doesn't mean I'm, like, these guys are my heroes.
No,
they're just, like, fascinating to me.
My feeling walking out of the show was like, oh, somebody figured out a way to make me care about, like, white dudes.
Yeah.
Because if this, you could have even had the entire show, like, you could have the exact same text and had it been all played by white people, and I feel like I would have been bored.
Well, you mentioned that, and then I was thinking, because I didn't see it, but didn't Bloody Andrew Jackson kind of do the same thing? Not that you cared for them, but you cared about the story, that you were interested in the story that you were watching. I guess that's the difference.
Yeah.
Not that you care about them, but that you're interested in what you're watching.
Interested in the story,
you know, so maybe it's just the modern telling of it.
No, but I'm just saying, like, white men.
Sure.
White men are boring.
Yeah.
So I don't care about their anything. But when you have Christopher Jackson playing George Washington, I'm like, I'm listening. Brian Darcy James.
White man.
Oh my gosh. He
was
was
the villain.
Fucking hilarious.
He was so great.
He was so funny. He had such good comedic timing. I feel like the entire audience was just putty in his hands.
He was loving every second of it.
Yeah.
And what a great song.
I liked his costume.
His costume was great.
That's where all the money went.
I liked the other
I have
costumes.
to say, like,
No,
they were. I was going to say, like, you see shows that look cheap and you see shows that look like expensive, or shows that are cheap but trying to look expensive and stuff like this.
Or
and
expensive
this was like
but trying to look cheap.
A small production that, like, looked expensive and well, or like just like it looked well done.
Yeah,
you know, like all the costumes looked like they put money into those costumes and stuff.
Yeah, and the set worked for all the different places they needed to be.
The set worked really well. I liked the triple turntable.
That was great.
Real cool turntable work. Lin-Manuel Miranda. Who? I feel like I now fully understand why he's been growing his hair out.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was so committed.
Yeah.
To having
the
real hair.
No wig. Well, their wig budget probably. Don't think anybody was wearing a wig, so they had no wig budget. Except Brian Darcy James, who's wearing like a crazy powdered wig. We were kind of in the back, so maybe the ladies were wearing wigs.
I was trying to figure out if some of the women were wearing wigs.
I feel like everybody had their natural hair.
Yeah. Anyway, Lin-Manuel Miranda. Book, music, and lyrics / co-arranger / Alexander Hamilton
/ overachiever. I love him. I just love him so much, and I think he's so smart and so talented and the best.
Yep.
That's it. That's all I have to say.
Leslie Odom Jr. Love him.
So good.
I love him.
What I liked about this show, too, also because it's about politicians, there's, like, never a good guy or a bad guy. There's maybe better guys. But because of the nature of politics and because of the nature of war and revolution, there's always, like, backhanded deals. And
that's
like,
what I actually had. I had a thought, like, at the end of the show, there was a line... Somebody had a line about, like, the financial system, where they were like, they're like, gotta give him credit for, like, the financial system that he, you know, like, I don't, like, the way that the line was said was implying that it was good.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I don't know specifically what that line was in reference to, what aspect of our financial structure, but I was like, I don't know that I agree with that.
I think it was actually Leslie's character that said that, because they were, like, enemies or whatever. They were also contemporaries, and, you know, you think at the beginning, because you're telling the story of Alexander Hamilton, that Aaron Burr is going to be the villain. But, like, nobody was really the villain.
Right.
They were all kind of terrible, but also doing, at the time, trying to start a country what they felt had to be done.
I have so many problems with, like, the Founding Fathers.
Yeah.
I just have a lot of problems with them.
Yeah, they had a lot of problems.
Love Leslie.
I
love him. He's so fantastic in everything he does.
Absolutely.
Voice.
I wish there could have been more voice.
More.
But only because there were songs, but it's Lin-Manuel Miranda, so a lot of it was rap.
Let me hear Leslie's voice. It's so pretty. I feel like everybody just looked really good in those costumes.
Yeah, everybody looked really good. Okieriete, Onaodowan. I hope that's how you say your name. I was doing it the Italian way, where you just say all the vowels. You're Italian, right?
Whoever you are, you're fucking
oh my
perfect.
God, you were so great. Especially as Hercules. I mean... Actually, he in the first act, he was the one that went undercover. And like, we had a spy on the inside. He was like, I'm Hercules Mulligan, motherfuckers! Yeah,
no, he was fucking great.
Actually, I was going to say as Hercules, but then he was so funny as James Madison, too, but it was like the dry, undercover humor.
Yeah. I loved him. I thought he was so great.
He was fantastic. Jefferson, he was such like a badass as Thomas Jefferson. Again, issues with Thomas Jefferson. I also kind of love Thomas Jefferson. He was just fantastic.
Yes.
Hilarious. Great hair.
I was gonna say I liked his costumes. His costumes were like a little bit fancier.
Phillipa Sue played Eliza Hamilton.
Fantastic.
She was great. I love her voice. It's so smooth. I saw her in Natasha Pierre, and she was great in that. Yeah. I
really, I think my favorite part of the entire show that I think is exemplary musical theater is the scene where the sisters meet Alexander.
Yes.
Where it goes and then goes again. That entire sequence is fucking musical theater magic. And like something I don't know that I've ever really seen on stage in a show done the way it was done. I thought it was so perfect. It's so great.
It was
amazing and magical.
I don't know. I just
love history.
I love history. It's fascinating to me, but I also love that it just fucks with the conventions of history too. It is a story about the founding of this country by old white Christian men. And aside from the fact that Lin works with actors that he likes, and I don't know if he was trying to make any statement or whatever, but that these are the people that are telling this story.
Well, yeah, it's true colorblind casting.
Yeah. I don't know that there are any tickets left, but if there are, if they extend for 100th time, go see it.
Or catch it when it's on Broadway.
Broadway Super Fans.
French dandy.
Yeah.